Alright, our meat is thawed out next to the fire. We're gonna get it into the bowl and get it all mixed up with some spices and some onion and garlic. Ground beef. Peameal bacon with parsley, a little bit of onion, and 1 egg. The second layer. And now we have the beautiful venison burger meat. Oh my goodness. These are gonna be amazing, incredible meatballs. This is 1 pound of the venison, and I'm going with 2 pounds to like 2 pounds of the beef from the Mennonites and about 1 pound of the peameal. Why so large of a batch, you ask? Because I'm making a huge batch of the sauce with the meatballs so that I can have extra jars of my pantry for through the winter when we want to have spaghetti and meatballs. I'm going to be pressure canning what we don't eat this evening. Beautiful. In here, I just added 2 diced white onions with our venison, our pork, and our ground beef. And I'm also going to be adding in garlic powder and mushrooms. And then we're going to get our sauce going for our spaghetti and meatballs. And you can't forget the Worcestershire. This is a lot of meat, so I'll be able to put back quite a few jars of meatballs and sauce. Add some pepper in here too. Whatever flavors you want. Italian seasoning. Sure. Oh, I had picked up a big, huge number 6 can of mushrooms, I think 2 years ago. There's a lot of mushrooms in here. Just draining some. Gonna use my chopper, get those finely chopped up and put into our mixture of meatball mix. This is how finely chopped. They're being chopped down too. Okay, 3 rounds with the chopper of mushrooms. And here I just have a little bit of dehydrated parsley from the garden and a little bit of Italian seasoning. Majority of the seasoning is going to go into the actual sauce. And I got a bag of croutons, so I'm just going to crush them up with the rolling pin and get that added to our mixture as well. These ones are flavored with garlic and cheese. Might as well use up the rest of the mini baguettes. Roasted garlic. Before you do that, and add it to your mixture, just make sure they're not stale. These are perfect. Adding beautiful flavor. Now I'm going to use either 2 or 3 large eggs from our chickens and get this mixture mixed up, and this will be like a beautiful way to get your meatballs to stick together. It is smelling perfect. It's so, oh, it's beautiful. This is going to be amazing. Look at that. Oh yeah. And over here I have 3 green bell peppers with 1 large white onion ready to be sauteed. And I think I'm going to actually throw in a yellow bell pepper as well. And then we're going to be on to the sauce and forming our meatballs and getting those cooked up in the oven. There's 2 trays of meatballs going in here. I'm going to do 2 batches. This one here is on a bar pan, so it's nice and well seasoned. And then I use parchment paper just so the meatballs don't stick to this one. So we are preheating the oven to 350 Fahrenheit and get these meatballs cooking. So this is what we got left. Enough for another batch. Alright, our first batch of meatballs is done. Now to get the second batch in and work on our sauce. Beautiful. Beautifully done. Oh my.
Your pug's trying it yet?
No.
Oh. Oh, mushrooms. Mm-hmm. They're good.
Of course they are.
And parchment paper.
Delicious. Now wait for the meal.
That's tonight, eh?
Yes. This afternoon. So I need this pan. So put the meatballs in a bowl. Right, our big double batch of meatballs, triple meat meatballs, mushrooms, and yummy goodness. Right here, folks. Now we gotta make the sauce. I have another number 6 can that needs to be used up. I think I got this for free when they used to have a place called Barney's Bargain Barn. So I'm gonna make some use of these tomatoes, even though I have a freezer full of tomatoes that still need to be processed. So we're gonna get these kind of diced up, because I do like some chunks in my sauce. And you can legit save these cans and make rocket stoves. I think that might be a fun project. I might have to do that. We got a lot of mushrooms left, so I'm gonna go in with probably about half of the remainder of this number 6 can right into the sauce. And they're staying so that they are more full slices. I am not chopping them up at all. And we were given apparently some very, very good home-style recipe sauce. So I'm adding this into our sauce. Did lick my finger. It's pretty tasty. It's got some cheesiness to it and some herbs already in there. And I'm gonna save the jar because this is a good sized jar. Beautiful. And you want this on really super low. I got mine on a 2. I'm gonna turn it right down to low because we want this to simmer like pretty much all day. Vacuum sealed celery from the garden. Our green pepper and onion going in. Oh, this is interesting. So this is dated best before 2024, March or May. And see, it's beveled at the top. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not going to be using that. See that? Not using it. Can just go right into the garden. No, it even tastes off. It doesn't even taste tasty at all. This is the No Name brand. Yuck! Right into the compost pile. Okay, so 2 cans of this did the same thing. Chili sauce that I picked up for $3. I think that was 2 years ago. Nothing funky happening with the lid on this one. We're gonna taste it and see if we're gonna add it because I want to make sure that I have enough sauce for the jars for when I pressure can the meatballs. I'm not liking it. It tastes way too much like the actual Heinz ketchup. It's got too much of a tart but sweet with, I don't know, it's like it tastes kind of smoky. I don't know. I'm not a fan. I ain't going in there. So I'm gonna need some more sauce. I might have to dip into my own storage of my own sauce. We'll see. So the flavoring is actually pretty good. I'm just gonna soup it up a little bit to what I would do if I'm doing this like right from scratch. I make little piles. Garlic powder, Italian, basil, crushed chilies, and some soy sauce. A bit of Parmesan cheese, and get it all mixed up. Spinach from the garden that I formed into pucks. This is tasting absolutely incredible. And we're not even a couple hours in to the simmering. Wow. And I got some leftover stock from a roast that I did on the wood stove the other day. I'm just gonna whizzer it up with the immersion blender and then get that put into our sauce. That's gonna add a beautiful flavor as well. Here we go. And get that all mixed in. This is going to be jars full of incredible meatballs. Now our lid goes on for a few hours. Okay, it's been a few hours. Our sauce is officially done. And I put the rest of the mushrooms in there, and I did actually use the immersion blender to just bust up the larger chunks and then went in with the rest of the mushrooms so that they're sliced whole. So now it's time to get our meatballs in there to get them warmed up. Oh, it's a lot of beautiful meatballs. Let them soak up some of that beautiful sauce. Got our noodles happening. And a good long day of making sauce and meatballs. And I just do the thin spaghetti. It's called spaghettini. Get your water boiling. I put a little bit of olive oil in there with a bit of salt. And I set the timer for 8 minutes, but I just checked it and it's pretty al dente after, let's say, 6. So time to get those noodles chilling. Just quick rinse with cold water. And here is our finished product. Time for the taste test. Not to forget, a little bit of Parmesan cheese and fresh cracked pepper. Oh yeah, nothing like some good homemade meatballs, triple meat. And pasta. I don't eat pasta very often, so this is a treat. So good. Meatball. Even if you don't do the triple meat, Italian style meatballs, honestly, the way to go. Well, everything turned out great. I do have a big pot that I have to get pressure canned up for meals for in the winter. So that's what I will be doing later today, folks. Thank you for watching. Bon appetit.